Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, August 20th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Melissa Wright. Thanks for joining us.
The Trump administration moves to terminate a court agreement that requires a 20-day cap for detaining migrant children, a move that could allow them held indefinitely in detention centers. Two federal departments will issue a new rule Friday to withdraw from the Flores settlement agreement. The federal consent decree has set basic standards for the detention of migrant children and teens since 1997.
The new rule permanently establishes standards of care in custody for children and families. These standards are high. In doing so, the rule fulfills one of the central, original purposes of the 1997 Flores Court Settlement Agreement to ensure appropriate care for all children. A national standard of care ensures that care in custody of children and families is not a policy decision and should not be subject to the ebbs and flows of state and local politics. Instead, all children in the government's care will be universally treated with dignity, respect, and special concern in concert with American values and faithful to the intent of the original settlement.
Although the new rule is set to take effect 60 days after it's published, officials expect the implementation could take much longer. That's because advocates have vowed to challenge the rule in court. The judge who would hear the case is the same person who denied the administration's request last year to extend family detentions. America's federal deficit could soon reach levels not seen since the end of World War II, according to the Congressional Budget Office. The budget deficit is expected to hit $960 billion in 2019 and average a staggering $1.2 trillion per year between 2020 and 2029. That is $800 billion more than previously expected. The CBO also said that the impact of President Trump's trade war with China could hurt economic growth.
The States is doing phenomenally well. But one thing I have to do is economically take on China, because China has been ripping us off for many years. President Clinton, President Bush, and President Obama and others should have done this long before me. My life would be much easier, although I enjoy doing it, but my life would be much easier if I just said, let China continue to rip off the United States.
The Congressional Budget Office says the budget deal reached earlier this month and the 2017 tax law are major factors for the rising deficit.
As people all over the nation gear up to celebrate Women's Equality Day, women here in Prince George's County were at the hotel at the University of Maryland for the 17th annual Women's Equality Day luncheon. Several speakers, including Congressman Steny Hoyer and Congresswoman Maxine Walters, along with County Executive Angela Also Brooks, took to the stage to commemorate the anniversary of the women's suffrage movement.
It is because we have the opportunity to celebrate all that the ratification meant when we have here a female county executive, a female state's attorney, a female chief executive officer of our school system, a female fire chief, a female president of the community college and Bowie State University, the chief judge is a female, the clerk of the court is a female, the chair of our Senate delegation is a female. We are grateful for the 19th Amendment to the Constitution.
This year marks the 99th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. A teenager convicted of murdering a Baltimore cop is sentenced to life in prison. 17-year-old Donta Harris struck Officer Amy Caprio with a Jeep as she responded to a home burglary committed by Harris and 3 other teens. Harris's co-conspirators faced up to 30 years in prison for Caprio's death. He was a 9th grader at the time of the incident last May. It is a busy time for parents and their children because in just a few weeks, students will be heading back to school. But before you send your kids off, the Prince George's County school system has a strong message for you. No shots, no school, no exceptions. Officials say your kid must be vaccinated. Maryland state law requires that all students attending public schools have updated immunization records from their doctor. Children not vaccinated will not be able to attend school after September 23rd.
Is a public health issue, and it's one of the easiest ways to avoid preventable diseases. So we encourage our families to go ahead and get their children immunized because most diseases are very preventable. I tell parents that there are a lot of myths out on the internet they really should check with their providers. One of the myths was that immunizations can cause autism. There are no studies or research to support that that can happen. The things that were unsafe with vaccines years ago don't exist anymore.
Young says every Saturday during the month of September, parents can get their child vaccinated at the health department. For more information, contact the agency at 301-883-7879.